The images in the following program are highly sensitive and may be as disturbing to viewers as they were to us. However, we have to show the truth about cruelty to animals, praying that you will help to stop it.
Concerned viewers, this is the Stop Animal Cruelty series on Supreme Master Television. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, is a U.S.-based animal rights group with over 2 million members and supporters worldwide. PETA focuses on ending animal suffering in factory farms, the entertainment industry, and research laboratories. The caring organization also works to halt the use of animals in the fashion industry. Their tools to protect our animal friends include conducting animal cruelty investigations, organizing public outreach efforts, sponsoring animal welfare legislation, performing animal rescues, and creating pro-animal ad campaigns featuring prominent celebrities.
I believe we're all the same. We're all flesh and blood. We all have emotions. We all feel pain and joy and love. And so it's not any fairer as if you would use your neighbor's child to test something, that you would use another of your neighbors who happens not to be human. But we've used billions and billions and billions of animals. We don't have a cure for the common cold, so this is not good science.
This week we feature an interview with Ingrid Newkirk, President and founder of People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, regarding the sickening practice of animal testing.
Many different kinds of species are used to test. They most commonly start with mice and rabbits and rats. They then move to dogs. Once those tests have been completed, often they move to monkeys, and they do use cats and dogs in these experiments too. It's not for a scientific reason that these animals are chosen. It's because they're small, they're available, they're easy to handle, and they're cheap.
On a scale that is almost unimaginable, annually 100 million animals across the globe, or more than 3 animals a second, are subjected to the horrors of so-called experiments that deeply frighten, seriously injure, mentally scar, and savagely kill these innocent beings. Animals used in these tests are treated as disposable tools by laboratories, and after years of working in such facilities, many researchers become jaded and fail to comprehend the sheer torment faced by the animal inmates on a daily basis. Why is this occurring? There is a fundamentally incorrect belief held by some that trials on animals can accurately predict how a consumer product, chemical, drug, vaccine, or other substance will react with or affect the human body.
The physiology of all these animals is different from each other, let alone different from our physiology. The only common thing is they all feel pain when you put a substance inside them.
Take, for instance, the Draize test, used for testing cosmetics, personal products, and household items. There are 2 types of this utterly heartless and disgusting test. One is for eye irritancy, and the other is for skin irritancy. In the former, a solution is made of the substance that is being assessed and is applied to the animal's eye, typically causing fierce burning, itching, and intense discomfort. If this wasn't outrageous enough, clips are used to keep the animal's eyes open for days on end to prevent them from clearing away the solution by blinking. In addition, the head is immobilized to prevent movement during this entire process. Often the victim's eyes begin to bleed and become ulcerated. The so-called researchers involved then subjectively score how much damage has been done to the eyes in order to judge the substance's toxicity.
It definitely doesn't mean that you can test on a rabbit, especially a rabbit's eyes, which is what they do, and decide that you will or won't have harm if it gets into a human eye, because the rabbit has about 19 different characteristics to their eye than to the human eye, and the physiology of all these animals is very different.
With the Drey's skin irritancy test, the animal is shaved and the substance is applied to their skin. The tested area is then covered with plastic sheeting. As one can imagine, the skin can become severely inflamed and injured. Again, the lab personnel subjectively score the extent of the mutilation, hardly what can be called objective science.
I think it's very important to know that testing on animals does not make these products safe for you. If you take an ammonia floor cleaner that has been tested on animals and you pour it down your throat or put it in your eye, it's still going to hurt you. So it's not a safety test. It's a bureaucratic regulation that they need to change. But there are 4 basic tests. They put it down an animal's throat, they put it in the animal's eyes, they force the animal to inhale mass quantities of it, and they shave the animal's back and apply the substance and then bind the animal up. And then they simply record how much damage is done.
As documented by the animal advocacy group In Defense of Animals, a laboratory in the USA was keeping hundreds of adult chimpanzees locked up in cold, dark, barren cages and purposely exposing them to dangerous infectious diseases like hepatitis. The investigators found that the vast majority of the primates had lost touch with reality due to their 24 hours a day, 7 days a week isolation and the inability to move about like in the wild. The chimps exhibited signs of deep mental disturbance, such as rocking back and forth constantly.
Almost everything you can imagine is done to all these animals. For chimpanzees, they often take the babies away and use them in what they call maternal deprivation experiments. But chimpanzees, like all animals, have been put into chambers and pressure has been applied to see if their lungs collapse, if their organs burst. They're deprived of everything. They're given electric shocks to see their reaction. They're kept in isolation. They've even been sent into space. So everything you can imagine has been done to animals just for pure curiosity. And the way in which they're kept causes great fear and misery because they're separated from their families. They're never allowed to take even a few steps. They're kept in a metal box. And often they've come from jungles or woods or rivers, and they don't know what's happening to them, and they live in a constant state of heightened fear.
There are numerous scientifically valid ways to verify the safety of a product without causing harm to animals. With human microdosing, extremely small quantities of the drug under evaluation are injected in humans, with the risk to the participant of having any sort of reaction to the drug being very, very low. Instead of the obscene Drey's skin irritancy test, scientists can culture human skin cells to create a model of human skin upon which a product can be applied and assessed. Three-dimensional tissue engineering, scanning the human body using magnetic resonance imaging or MRI, and statistical modeling are other methods to conduct product safety studies without animals being hurt.
You need to use human skin patch tests or computer modeling with human data, not force feed these substances to animals or put these substances in animals' eyes. Today we have high-speed computers with human data. We have amazing technology.